Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome in. Today we are going to play with watercolors. If you're interested in that, stick around. All right, y'all. This is my latest obsession with doing my coloring pages. I've been using a lot of watercolor to like base the whole page. And I'm going to show you which one we're going to base today. It's in Botanicum by Maria Trolle. Where are we at here? We're going to do this page here. And I'm going to put, this is just a plastic cutting board that I got from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to put that behind here to protect everything underneath of it. I've already done this page, and I'm doing this one for Jordy Colors, Color of the Fairy Tale. That's the page that I'm doing here. And I'm going to attempt to also do this page. I'm going to kind of do them at the same time. And I'm also going to attempt to try to match this color over to here. If it's not exact, that's just fine. The watercolors that I'm going to use are this brand right here. Where did I get these? I think I got them on Amazon. I'm pretty sure I got them on Amazon. But they are kind of a mess. But that's because I've been using them. And this is what they look like. They're pretty little pans, but there's plenty there. And I just use the lid over here as my palette to mix my colors together, because why not, you know? But let me show you some examples of how I do this. Okay, I've been doing this for like a month, probably. The month of February, I started to do this, and I just couldn't quit doing it. So let me show you. This is Shooting Star by Maria Trolle. And I based this whole thing, this whole picture, with blue watercolor. And I did do some splatter, a lot of splatter here. But if you see along the edges here of the flower, I left some of that paint showing through. And here, this is not the greatest example, but on the leaves as well. I wanted the highlight of the picture to be what the background is. So that's why I left some of this here. And I did another one in this one. This one is, I finished it this month. This is for Amanda Colors Color Palette Challenge. And I did this one in blue as well. And there's a couple good things about this. First of all, your background is done, right? And if you leave some of the elements uncolored, you get that highlight of the background through your element, as you can see here, like right along the edge here. And these clouds, they were basically already done. I just kind of outlined them. I hope this is making sense. But that's another page that I did with that. Nightfall by Maria Trolle. This was a whip from last month, and I finished it. Let me move this out of the way. And I did this one with a lighter blue. I'm just painting over the whole page, everything over the whole page. And you see I left some of the background showing through for highlight. You can see it really good in the flowers here. And then in the leaves here, this is all that background showing through. So it gives it kind of I like the way it looks. It gives it a interesting look. Here on the butterflies too, right in the middle, I just left that. That's the background coming through there. And then I've got one in the Color in Heaven, their 10th anniversary. And I showed this one last month for my finished pages. I did this one all in purple. I just painted the whole background purple, and then I left some spaces here for the highlight to come through that is that same background color. Now, I did put ink over the top of this background, but you can see the purple behind it, and even through the balloons. I just think it looks really cool, and it's very easy, and can also be very, very cheap to do because watercolors don't cost that much. So let's do this page that I showed you at the beginning. I'm trying to get everything where y'all can see everything that I'm doing here. I do have a cup with some water in it. I'm going to be setting that over to the side without spilling it here. And I'm going to get my brush wet. I'm using a big brush. It's pretty big because I'm not trying to be neat about it. But I think I hope you can see this. Looks like about that color. I'm just going to pick some of it up and put it over here on the lid. I did get my brush wet first. I don't think I said that part. I'm going to get a little more wet. Watercolor is very messy in my experience, in the pan anyway. I'm just kind of mixing these together here, and I'm shaking the crap out of you. Sorry about that. But I'm just trying to get enough here so I can get started. All right, let's see what's going to happen. I'm just going to pick that up, and I'm just going to paint this whole thing. I've matched it pretty well, it looks like. Like I said, if it's not exactly the same color, it's just fine. But I did this other page over here on the right, over here. And I'm like, I think I want to make a video on this because it just adds a little something, something to your page. I'm going to start getting some more color here because I done used basically all that. But it just gives a little something, something to your page. And also, because it's watercolor, at least these, this particular kind of watercolor, it gives a little bit of grit to the page. Changes the texture of it just a little bit. And I like that. And for me, the way that I color, I like that. Because it just gives the pencil something else to grab onto, you know. So you're coloring on a little bit different of a surface. And the reason I'm not putting it directly on the page over here is because I don't want it to curl up too bad. But watercolor dries fairly quickly, especially if you're taking it from a palette like this. And I don't like, I'm gonna make sure I'm still in frame here. I don't try to not have like the strokes or whatever. I don't care about blending all that in because it's just gonna give just a little bit of different element to your page. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And you see how quick I'm doing this. And because you're putting water on paper, it is gonna, you see it's starting to curl up a little bit. But what I do is I wait until it's dry. Like I said, it doesn't take very long for this to dry because you're not soaking the page. I just want to make sure everything's covered here. See, even the girl, I'm putting the paint over top of her too. Because any highlights that's going to be on her, then it will show through and just give it a really cool look. But I just will let this dry And then once it's dry and it's not going to stick together, then I'll close it and set something on top of it for maybe a half hour or so. And then I come back and you see this one is not curled up, right? So I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to close the book and set something on top of it, and I'll come back to you and show you that this will flatten out a little bit. It's not too bad, actually, but it is kind of drawing up because you're putting water on paper. But I'll be back in about 30 minutes. All right, y'all, it's been about 20-30 minutes, something like that. And as you can see, it's dry and it's flat, no curling. It doesn't bother me if my pages curl up a little bit. I think it just adds a little bit of character to them. But, and you see, they don't exactly match, the colors don't, but that's totally fine with me. But let me know if you're going to try this or not. This is, like I said, it's easy, it's quick, and it's cheap. Those are all good things. And it'll give you a little something, something to your page. And you don't have to do too much work to get it accomplished. So yeah, let me know if you're going to try this or not. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some inspiration. And if you stuck around in the video this long, I appreciate you very much. I hope y'all have a wonderful morning or afternoon or evening or wherever you are in the world when you're listening to this. And until next time, y'all, bye.